Hello, Professor Taylor. Hello, fellow LAT 1100 students. Welcome to my individual project about Florencia 13 or F13. My name is Jared Watkins, and I hope you enjoy. So quickly before we start, my F13 presentation is going to first cover the overview of F13, then F13's rival gangs and allied gangs, F13's location, their origin, their most famous member, the types of members and crimes they commit, recent prominent gang activity by F13, and then another slide about how F13 is reducing conflict, another slide about gang prevention, and then we're going to wrap it up with police versus gangs. F13 is a youth Latino street gang. They have about 2,000 to 3,000 members across the United States. The F13 is also inside the prisons, but not a ton of them are in there. And then the FBI began targeting F13 members after many racially motivated attacks against African Americans. Florencia 13 or F13 is one of the oldest gangs in the United States. The gang was founded in about the late 1950s, and their formation predates any of the Bloods or Crips that are also across the United States. F13 has a habit of recruiting young adults and teenagers. And then the 13 in their name stands for the letter M, and the M stands for marijuana or mota. The Florencia part of their name comes from a street in Los Angeles, Florence Avenue, and it is in the south part of LA. And then Florence in Spanish is pronounced Florencia. F13, like most gangs, have rival gangs that they oppose. Hispanic Compton, Barrio Tres, Tortilla Flats, Linwood, Paragons, Orchentas, Colonia Watts Gang, and the Crips. F13 also has a couple of allied gangs. They are the Mexican Mafia and the Serenos. F13 is located mostly in Los Angeles, California, around the southern part of the city. They also operate in small cells all over the United States of America. F13 started in the 1950s by Latinos to rival the other African American gangs in the area. They gained infamy by targeting African American gang members for their race specifically. The most famous member of F13 was Trinidad Iglesias. He has nicknamed Trini. Definitely the most notorious member of F13. Was also a member of the Mexican Mafia. In 1971, he was convicted of the murder of Deputy Gary Saunders, and then was also the prime shooting suspect of another narcos officer, but he was never convicted of this crime. F13 has many types of members, but most of them are street level. The gang as a whole is controlled by the Mexican Mafia. The Mexican Mafia essentially acts as the leaders of F13. The types of crimes that have been committed by members of F13 include murder, assault, drug trafficking, theft, arms trafficking, fraud, extortion, and robbery. Some of the recent activities committed by F13 members were 2 people were shot and wounded by an F13 gang member at a shopping mall in Utah. This happened in January of 2019. The other 4 men were killed by F13 members at a Hispanic bar in Kansas City, and this happened in October of 2019. Recently, F13 has begun winding down the conflict with the Crips. After years of violence, the leaders of the 2 gangs negotiated peace. The peace settlement or agreement began in September of 2019. Reducing gang activity plays an important role in reducing the crime and keeping communities safe. Usually patrol officers are going to be the first line of defense against gang activity. Here are some strategies to reduce gang involvement. These are provided by the Federal Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. They have a long acronym, OJJDP. The first one is to involve the community in the fight against gangs. Second is to create education programs that target at-risk youth. And then third is to reach out to involved youth and link them with the conventional world and other needed services that will help them get out of the gang life that they've chosen. And then before I finish up here is the references. The first one was from the National Gang Center, the second one was from streetgangs.com, and the third one was from policemagazine.com. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed my presentation about F-13.